Starfield is finally here and it's filled to the brim with systems and mechanics, some old, some new. Bethesda veterans might think much of the game feels familiar at first, but even if you put hundreds of hours into past Elder Scrolls and Fallout games, you'll be surprised quite often by all new gameplay bits and reworked mechanics. One of these mechanics that have evolved over the years is lockpicking. Like in previous Bethesda games, you can largely ignore breaking into locked places and receptacles, but you definitely want to put some skill points into lockpicking so you don't miss out on some of the best loot many locations have to offer. From the get-go, your character is able to break into novice-level locks, and investing into lockpicking allows you to work your magic on more difficult safes, lockers, doors, and other types of locked devices. Needless to say, in many locations, you should be careful with both picking items that don't belong to you and breaking into locks. If the actions are marked in red when you look at objects, you'll need to be sneaky with your law-breaking activities.
UC security, you're under arrest.
The lockpicking minigame might look confusing at first, but it's rather straightforward, though not quite as simple as its Elder Scrolls and Fallout counterparts. Instead of trying to find the sweet spot with a lockpick, you'll spend a digipick, Starfield's version of lockpicks, to start slotting in different keys, which can be rotated into the gaps of the circles you can view as soon as the screen comes up. Each key has a different pattern, so you'll need to avoid getting to the last stage of the minigame with a key which doesn't fit in the remaining gaps. Essentially, you want to plan ahead looking at the gaps in each circle and the keys you have, like in the clip you see here. Notice how we spent our only digipick the moment we chose to start slotting in keys, and if you want to undo a move, you'll spend a digipick too. Now let's take a look at the security skill inside the game's skill menu, which you can bring up at any time regardless of whether you have skill points to spend. Once you're inside the menu, you'll see 5 different categories at the top: physical, social, combat, science, and tech. You'll want to switch to the tech tab. There you'll see the security skill in the first row, second from the right. As described by the in-game text, this skill allows you to break the standardized digital locking mechanisms found all over the colonized systems. If you open up the skill, you'll see 4 ranks like with every ability. As we said before, you can break into novice level locks without extra training, but soon you'll come across advanced, expert, and even master level locks. Ranks 1 through 3 allow you to deal with those respectively, and rank 4 makes the entire lockpicking minigame easier, as you can spend a digipick to remove all the keys which aren't required to solve the puzzle. Each rank allows you to bank more auto attempts. We'll talk about that next. An important part of lockpicking that is easy to overlook is the auto slot action that is to the left of undo and slot key during the minigames. At the beginning, you'll be unable to use it, but you'll notice a circle around the action button will start to fill. Auto slot might sound like other games' auto open action, which may succeed or fail depending on your perks and skills. In Starfield, it works a bit differently. The more locks you manage to break, the more that circle will be filled. Once you complete a circle, you'll bank an auto slot action. When you're inside a lockpicking minigame, you can use the auto slots you've been saving up to skip messing with the keys altogether. Of course, this can only be used on locks you can access, meaning you still need to invest in the security skill if you want to open up tougher locks. Once you get the hang of this new lockpicking mechanic, you'll be raking in large sums of credits and plenty of extra loot in no time, just so long as you search in every corner of the many locations you'll visit. For players who enjoy this aspect of Bethesda Game Studios games, the security skill is a must, so even if you aren't a sneaky type, consider investing some points into this one and practicing the minigame until no container nor door can stop you.